God damn it, YouTube. I hate to do this, bro. I really do. I really don't even want to make this video, folks, for real. But the questions is they getting louder and louder, man. To the point where you can't ignore it. This little baby fell off, folks, cause you know what I'm saying. I fuck with IMG, you know. But ain't nobody really, like, bro, he just dropped a new project. It's not really getting that much buzz, bro. It's not getting that much hype. It's not getting that much love. And I'm like, damn, bro, is this the demise of young baby, folks? We seeing the bitter end, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it coming to an end, bro, as far as that run, bro, had where he just had, you know what I'm saying, especially the South, bro, Atlanta, he had this bitch on lock. But now it's like he losing momentum, he losing his power, folks. He losing this he losing this motherfucking he losing everything right now, folks. God damn. Like, he losing the public's opinion, everything. It's just getting bad, bro. But look, we finna do a reaction to this video to try to see, like, is this the beginning of the end for the one and only Lil Baby? Like, is the babies just getting they already got the baby the fuck up out of here. Is Lil Baby next? Bro, we about to see. So without further ado, y'all know how I do, man. Let's get straight to it.
When discussing When discussing Lil Baby, it's impossible to forget him being sandwiched by a dude with blue hair and Michael Rubin.
Bro, see? Here we go. First thing. This was the fucking picture, bro, that just... I think this was the beginning of the end for Lil Baby, bro. For real. And the one that I think is more damning, bro, is the one with him with the gap. Like, right here, like, nigga, you showing all 50 of these bitches. Like, even the teeth that's missing. Like, he just showing... You know, when you sandwich between two white men, the optics is not good for you, my guy. It's just not good.
At Michael Rubin's white party back in 2022, and many people view this as the tipping point that has led Lil Baby's career to the disappointing spot that it's currently at.
Lil Baby being in a double stuffed Oreo, one man has him in a full Nelson chokehold, the other nigga so tenderly grabbing and touching on his spinal cord. You get what I mean? He's looking like he's in the heat. He is in joy. He's just he's in a moment of pure just love.
When you look at the charts, you might think Lil Baby is hotter than ever, and Michael Rubin might think that too, because songs from his new album Wham currently occupy the majority of Apple Music's top 10. The album itself is at #1 on the Apple Music albums chart, and many people were curious to see the direction that Lil Baby was about to take it. But if Drake's petition against Kendrick and UMG has taught us anything, it's that streams can be bought, hype can be fabricated, only real music's gonna last, and perception is everything. And the perception of Lil Baby is not where it once was, way back at the beginning of the decade. He was deemed to be the next Lil Wayne, the next guy with the torch, and it wasn't just the fans saying this, it was artists alike. You had J. Cole, who's notorious for going platinum with no features, including Baby as a feature on his 2021 album The Off Season. You had Drake getting outshined by Baby on various verses, and as Kendrick put it, running to Lil Baby to get his lingo up, and people really thought this guy was untouchable. Then he got touched at Michael Rubin's white party, and nothing has ever been the same.
Why you have to say it like that? He got touched at the party, bro. I'm telling you, a picture can destroy some shit, fam. It's like how Drake would say, it'll fuck your life up, fam. A picture will kill you, fam. You know, Crody, it'll kill you, fam.
Smaller scale artists like Ken Carson or Yeet currently generate more buzz and electrifying crowds at their concerts than Lil Baby does. His Atlanta counterparts, Gunna and 21 Savage, have quickly overshadowed his popularity, and the overall conversation about Lil Baby shifted from will his career be the next Lil Wayne to will his career even survive. And Baby knew this. That's why he took almost 3 years off between his last album in 2022, It's Only Me, to his brand new 2025 release, Wham. He knew the pressure was higher than ever, and if he didn't deliver, this could be the end. And the sad reality is that in the end, Lil Baby most definitely did not deliver. Now, we're gonna break down the entire album and unpack if this is truly the end for Lil Baby.
Bro, I'm hearing, bro, I'm like, bro, anybody, you know what I'm saying, stay in Georgia, anywhere in the South, bro, you already know. Like, bro, when Lil Baby drop a project, folk, it really shut shit down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it put shit on hold, cause bruh was that motherfucking hot. He was that motherfucking like everybody, he was that in demand. Everybody wanted that nigga, bro. But it's like ever since that damn picture, he can't get out the way. It's like nobody take him serious no more, and I'm scared for little baby folk, because you know he at that point of stardom where like nigga, you damn near might have to crash out to get that shit back.
First, we gotta understand where it all went wrong. How did
Wait a minute.
he swam? He knew the pressure was higher than ever, and if he didn't deliver, this could be the end. And the sad reality is that in the end, Lil Baby most definitely did not deliver. Now, we're gonna break down the entire album and unpack if this is truly the end for Lil Baby. But first, we gotta understand where it all went wrong. How did the guy poised to be the next up, your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, literally both Kanye West and Lil Wayne said Lil Baby at one point was their favorite rapper, how did a guy who seemingly could not lose end up possibly losing it all? Well, in order to understand that, we have to take it back to 2017 when Lil Baby gave us his first breakout single, My Dog. At the time, Atlanta trap music was at the forefront of mainstream hip-hop, and rappers who emerged from that city and sound were blowing up left and right. Migos were the first hip-hop group in years to score a Billboard Hot 100 hit with Bad and Bougie. Within a short year or two of starting their career, both Lil Uzi and 21 Savage dropped platinum #1 albums. Yes, I know Lil Uzi wasn't an Atlanta trap artist, but he was definitely one of those Young Thug offsprings just like Lil Baby. Speaking of Thug, him and Future were spearheading the Atlanta trap movement, and with that came various Young Thug Pokemon evolutions like Gunna, Lil Got It, Lil Keed, rest in peace, even NBA Youngboy to a certain degree. So at this point, Lil Baby was just one of many. Yes, that Young Thug-esque sound and aesthetic was dominating commercial trap music at the time, but we saw the exact same thing a couple years earlier when Designer hopped on the scene sounding like a carbon copy of Future.
Hey, and that's what Designer fell off at. He shouldn't have never stopped. Look, bro. Yeah, they was talking about you sounding like Future, but that shit was getting your ass paid, boy. The minute you started ripping it up, all that stupid shit, niggas just left your dumb ass alone.
And aside from that one hit with Panda, he failed to develop enough as an artist to carve out a lane for himself outside of just being a Future clone and doing that one interesting thing on a plane one time. But on the opposite side, you had artists like Lil Uzi, who came out the gate as a Young Thug protege, but later carved out their own style, their own aesthetic by merging genres and really testing their creative limits. They were able to cultivate a fan base and went far beyond just living in the shadows of Young Thug. And at the time with that hit, My Dog, it was kind of up in the air which direction Lil Baby would take. Would he be the next Young Thug clone, like Designer was to Future, or would he be the next Lil Uzi, perhaps beginning his career, taking a little bit too much inspiration from his mentor, but eventually carving out his own lane and direction and build a success?
I don't know, bro, because I really want to say, like, when Lil Baby dropped that shit, My Turn, gee, he had the streets, folks. Like, wasn't nobody fucking with bro when he dropped My Turn, gee. It was a rap. It was a rap. Everybody was sitting behind this nigga at that time, folks. Facts.
Successful legacy of his own. Well, in my opinion, in the beginning of 2018, Baby's growth kind of took a back seat to his fellow Young Thug Pokemon clone, Gunna, who just dropped, in my opinion, his best project of all time, Drip Season 3. And if you really want to contextualize Lil Baby's evolution, then you should definitely check out his song on that Drip Season project, Oh OK, where he's rapping back and forth with Young Thug. And my first time listening to this song, I still wasn't familiar with Baby enough to clearly distinguish his voice. I thought this was Young Thug literally rapping the entire verse. So that should tell you a lot about how much Lil Baby was standing out at the time early on in his career compared to his peers, and I believe this is for one particular reason. That is, Lil Baby never cared to be a rapper. There's interviews of Young Thug where he said that he used to have to pay Lil Baby to get into the studio and stay out of the streets because Thug saw Baby's potential more than Baby did himself. Baby has also admitted that Gunna used to write his tracks early on because Baby's priority wasn't necessarily becoming a top-tier lyricist. He just wanted to be rich. And I think that was the fundamental problem to begin with. Lil Uzi really wanted it. Gunna really wanted it. Savage really wanted it. Lil Baby didn't really care for it. but everyone around him really wanted him to have it, to have that baton as the next guy up. And it made sense why. Aside from simply just sounding like a Young Thug carbon copy, there was a lot to Lil Baby as a rapper that was worth being excited about. He had a very energetic delivery.
Whoa, did you see that picture? Hold on, let's take that back. God damn. Whoa.
Sounding like a Young Thug carbon copy, there was a lot to Lil Baby as a rapper.
God damn. Bruh, I'm glad you grew your hair out, folks. You look hella funny.
That was
God damn, that nigga look funny on that picture.
Worth being excited about. He had a very energetic delivery and mic presence compared to the more slugged out, slurred delivery that Gunna was giving. He had this motivational, hungry, hustling persona, kind of similar to a young Jeezy. And he had a couple low-key bangers like All of a Sudden, Money Forever, and most notably, Freestyle. And while people look at that song as a generational anthem in hip-hop today, I think it was overlooked back then because, again, Lil Baby really came in the game as this shameless Young Thug offspring. He was good for all the reasons I just mentioned, but he didn't necessarily stand out. I mean, that Freestyle record has the same vibe, the same tempo, same subject matter, and same sound as the Young Thug and Rich Homie.
Bro, that's cap. Bro, when Lil Baby dropped that little freestyle shit, I'm in the hum with TP. Okay. Nigga, bro, come on, stop it. That shit just took over.
Quan freestyle record that was released just 2 years prior.
My baby mama just put me on child support. But one ain't going to court. Shout out my label, that's me. I'm in this TB.
So, with obvious talent, a definite hit with My Dog, but no real distinct definitive sound or project that separated Lil Baby from the dozens of other Young Thug clones at the time, his record label owners, the same record label that developed Migos and Lil Yachty, they were smart enough to know the one thing that would guarantee Lil Baby would be catapulted into superstardom, because they did the same thing 5 years prior with Migos and their breakout hit Versace. All you gotta do is get that Drake stimulus package. Or at least that was the go-to play back in 2018. So that's what they did. Lil Baby and Drake put out the song Yes Indeed in spring of 2018, and it was an instant hit. It put Lil Baby onto all these white girls and TikTokers. And while 21 Savage, Kodak Black, Lil Uzi, even Gunna all might have seemed a little more interesting artistically at the time, none of them had a line as quotable as wah wah wah, I'm Lil Baby. And now that I think of it, 2018 was really the year of quotable one-liners. You didn't just have wah wah wah, I'm Lil Baby. You had Out Like a Light, you had I Only Love My Bed and My Mama, I'm Sorry, Kiki, Do You Love Me, La Di Da Di Da, Slob on Me Knob, and my favorite one of all,
You Are Hiding a Child, Let That Boy Come Home.
But yeah, back to Lil Baby. He was obviously in good hands, right? Having unlimited access to features from any Atlanta trap artists who were at the forefront of mainstream hip-hop at the time. Young Thug, Gunna, 21 Savage, Future. He had arguably the best management team and label behind him with QC, and now he had the Drake cosign. So all these factors were the headwind that Baby needed to finally drop his debut album, Harder Than Ever. And while this project wasn't a classic by any means, it was solid enough to put Baby in that same category as a 21, Cardi, Gunna, etc., selling over 70,000 copies in the first week. But unlike his counterparts, Baby wasn't taking years in between his album releases. You could chalk it up to his music being a little more formulaic than his counterparts, making it easier to produce in a higher quantity. You could say that rapping came a little more effortlessly to Baby than his counterparts, similarly to a Lil Wayne when he could get in a booth and clock out like 3, 4, 5 songs in one session. Or maybe he still had Young Thug and Gunna ghostwriting for him like he did early on. But whatever it was enough for Lil Baby to deliver us 3 projects in 2018, each one bigger than the last, each one with hits more and more massive than the last one. While at the beginning of the year, it might have looked like Gunna's career was more promising than Baby's, by the end of the year they dropped their collab tape, Drip Harder, and it was evident that Baby at the time had quickly surpassed him. Then 2019 brought us the rise of Da Baby, and I think the combination of Da Baby and Lil Baby dominating mainstream hip-hop fueled both of their careers simultaneously. When one got hot, the other one got hotter, kind of like with the emergence of all the Lil rappers. Lil Wayne opened up the door for a Lil Durk, then you had Lil Uzi, Lil Yachty, which opened the doors for a Lil Skies, Lil Pump, Lil Nas X. It was kind of like having that Lil to your name almost powered you up. Same thing with the Baby. And whatever it was, if you question for a second that Lil Baby was not next up, 2020 put all of those questions to rest. He dropped his magnum opus My Turn with hit after hit, spun the block and dropped the deluxe album, which was almost bigger than the original version. And at this point, everyone was comparing Lil Baby to the next Lil Wayne. It wasn't just about if he was going to make it out of the Young Thug carbon copy factory, but instead the question was, will this guy go on to have a generational run which mirrored the peaks of a 2008 Lil Wayne? And to me, the quality most definitely wasn't there to even think of comparing him to Wayne, but I think it was more so that Lil Baby was taking the place of what Lil Wayne brought to the game. The unique voice, the flow, the energy, the effortless large quantity of hits, the massive feature run. I mean, Baby went from having Drake help kickstart his mainstream career, giving him his first big feature, to now washing Drake on his own songs like Wants and Needs, even washing Kanye on the song Hurricane. He was going bar for bar with hip hop titans and standing his ground. But what really separated Baby from all of his counterparts was the song The Bigger Picture. It showed that Baby actually had a message. He actually stood for something. He actually had something of substance to say. That song really acted as the staple of the Black Lives Matter protests and proved to the world that Baby wasn't just here to give us bangers. He was that next guy up because he actually had a positive message for the world. And with that, he became the most exciting artist out of that entire YSL collective. Even though he wasn't specifically signed to Young Thug, he came from that camp and was now the most commercially successful artist within it. He continued his run at the top in 2021, dropping a massive collab album with Lil Durk. However, when 2022 came around, things started looking a little dark. His childhood friends and fellow hip-hop peers, Young Thug, Gunna, and the rest of the YSL crew got locked up on RICO charges, and according to academics, Lil Baby's 4PF Collective was on the list of organizations that the feds were looking at to indict.
Yeah, bro, like I think all of that played a role for like how scared Lil Baby got, man. Like Fonnie Willis had these niggas shook. Fuck, I ain't gonna even hold you. The whole fact that he even changed his name, he even changed his label name from 4PF to some other shit. Like I don't even know what the fuck he changed it to, but he changed that shit because he was shook, bro. He was scared. Like nigga, he that's why the music he was scared to put that shit on wax like he been doing. He was scared, bro. So that shit. That and them pictures with the white men, it tainted the nigga so bad, bro.
On their next set of RICO charges. And whether it was because Lil Baby felt like he had to stop rapping about his everyday life due to the feds looking into lyrics from Young Thug and his own music, or maybe he simply felt like he was too big to fail. In the fall of 2022, Lil Baby made his first big misstep. He dropped his first solo album since My Turn back in 2020, but unlike the massive success that My Turn was, this new album, It's Only Me, was a complete disappointment from a quality perspective. Critics and fans were in complete disappointment. There was no evolution within the production, the flows, the subject matter. It was as bland and soulless as a trap album could get. But again, it was obvious that Lil Baby thought he was too big to fail, because he set up an arena tour nationwide, gearing to perform at dozens of venues, packing out crowds of dozens of thousands of people, and to his surprise, the demand to see Lil Baby live was so low that he ended up having to cancel many of the dates of.
And you know what I'm saying, to his surprise, I'm sure, but you know, perception is half of this shit, bro. Like when people believe, you know what I'm saying, that's why King Von was so goddamn, like, people really, you know what I'm saying, admired him, because regardless of, you know, what he did was right for wrong, you knew what the fuck that man was talking about was real to the T. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no cap in his rap. So it's like, you know, y'all being these big time niggas out here, 4PF running the streets and shit like that, whatever. Then you hear about the feds, bro, and you tighten up quick. Like, I mean, I understand shutting down certain shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all get that. But bro, the music, your voice, you know, the angles and shit that you was coming at, like, you changed everything. And people started talking like, bro, he shook. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that shit wasn't received at all like how all the other motherfucking projects was.
That tour. Keep in mind, when he first dropped his massive 2020 album My Turn, we were in the height of the pandemic. He could not tour. So this was the first real tour Lil Baby was going on since his massive run in the beginning of the 2020s decade. The impact that one mediocre album had in 2022 trickled down so massively that it affected his ticket sales for the first nationwide arena tour he was ever supposed to do. Couple that with the fact that at the time he had dissed Academics on that album, and with the subject matter being so bland and dry, that was the only thing that fans remember from that album. But not because the bars he had for Academics were memorable, but it was because Academics did not let Lil Baby forget it. Academics would rip into him every chance he could. Every tour date canceled, Academics would report on it. Every low album sales week Lil Baby had, Academic would go on.
Look, act, you know you were part of this nigga downfall too, folks. Hell yeah. Calling that nigga Lil Baby, Lil Baby, Lil Baby, that shit was too funny.
Hour-long live stream rants about the days of Lil Baby being that top guy being over. And I do think it was the poor music that led Lil Baby to the position he was in, but Academics adding fuel to the fire definitely did not help the overall narrative.
Yo, chat, I feel like the Monstars hopped out of one of them New Jersey drones and grabbed Lil Baby and shook the talent out of him. I don't know what I'm hearing thus far, chat. I don't know what I'm hearing. It's like they shook the talent out of him. You ever seen Space Jam when they shook the talent out of him? It's just like the Monstars came down. I don't know what happened to this guy. I really just don't know.
And at the same time that Lil Baby was shutting down shows, Fulton County was shutting down Gunna's legal case and released him from prison. Gunna took an Alford plea where he essentially had to go under oath stating that YSL was not only a record label but also a criminal organization. While his statements did not affect Young Thug or any of his other co-defendants' cases, it was definitely a bad look seeing Gunna yes ma'am his way out of prison, and many rappers on the outside refused to associate with him. Most notably, Lil Baby. Again, Gunna and Lil Baby came up at the same time together under the same camp. Gunna allegedly used to write songs for Lil Baby, and they definitely had dozens on dozens of different collaborations together. While Lil Baby was doing collab albums with Lil Durk, the world was asking when we were going to get the next one with Gunna. So when Gunna was released from prison, everyone was waiting for them to reunite, and they were hoping that maybe Gunna can bring Lil Baby out of that mediocre funk that his music had currently been in. But to their disappointment, that was not the case. Lil Baby refused to associate with Gunna. Matter of fact, pretty much the entire industry did. But Gunna did the unthinkable. He took the J. Cole route, dropped an album with no features, and went platinum with it, giving us hit after hit, going on a tour of his own. And while Baby was seemingly putting low effort into his projects, Gunna was doing the exact opposite, making sure that he'd work too hard to fail. He showed Lil Baby exactly what a rapper needed to do when they were faced with large-scale criticism. And while Baby might have lapped Gunna back in 2018, it didn't matter that the whole industry was now against Gunna. He quickly surpassed Lil Baby in terms of quality, stage presence, hit records, and record sales.
He killed them. He came home, you know what I'm saying? And the one thing is why y'all had why he goddamn, I think in my opinion, why he was building so much momentum is because y'all niggas was really like scared to come out. It was like niggas was sideways dissing him, but wasn't really coming out dissing him. You know what I'm saying? Like it was weird. But goddamn it, Gunna came back out dissing y'all ass for straight up told you, nigga, you a rat, your partner, you know what I'm saying? He told you all that shit and y'all ain't even get at that nigga. So yeah, he came out flaming with the allegations and still won. That's a bad sign, folks. When a nigga got rat allegations and shit on his head and he still come out and sell more money and make more money than you.
And because of their prior close association, the parallels in their artistry with both of them coming under the Young Thug family tree, and the swift shifts that both of them just experienced within their careers, with Gunna back on the way up, Lil Baby on his way down, fans were now pinning the two artists against each other, saying that Gunna had taken Lil Baby's spot. To make matters worse, their mentor Young Thug put out an album the week after Gunna to try to overshadow his release, but even the boss couldn't kill Gunna's momentum. So now with Lil Baby, the question is he gonna be the next Lil Wayne and outdo what Weezy did at the height of his career? But now the question was, will he even be able to outdo the guy that he was way ahead of for many years, Gunna? And I think this downfall...
Yo, and that's another thing that's really fucked up, right? That Young Thug got out of jail, you know what I'm saying? And he can't even just straight distance himself from Gunna, because Gunna is right now, who the fuck else making money over there at YSL for? Everybody is suspect. You know, you done lost half your team. Gunna the only motherfucker over there that's bringing money in for the YSL members. So as much as they might be in their feelings, he the breadwinner right now. You know what I'm saying? Thug ain't got back on his motions yet. He ain't got back on his feet yet, bro. And you trust me, Thug took a major loss paying all them goddamn lawyers and shit. So yeah, he might want to sit here and try to shit on Gunna folk, and he ain't even in no position to do it. That's how fucked up that is.
Boiled down to a couple things. Unlike Gunna, who understood that his spot wasn't promised, and after facing tons of scrutiny after being released from prison, he knew he had to do all that he could to regain the love from the public. Lil Baby's ego got so gassed up in 2020, he believed he was too big to fail. And that, combined with the fact that at the very core of his career, at the very beginning, he openly expressed that he never really seemed to care about being a rapper per se. He just wanted to be richer than he was in the streets. And he finally got to that spot. He was at the white party with Michael Rubin, hugging and kissing on stage, as Kendrick would put it. He sold out just enough stages of that arena tour that he had to cancel tons of dates on, that he was able to just get by, make a bag, and now get back in the booth and show the world why we loved him so much back in 2020. But with the audience redirecting their attention onto Gunna, Playboi Carti, 21 Savage, and several other rappers who have quickly surpassed Baby over the last few years, it wasn't a question of will this next album be good, it was will this album be good enough to stop people from saying that Lil Baby fell off completely. If you remember Chance the Rapper, he was also on top of the world back in 2016, 2017, but once he released his brutal debut album, The Big Day, in 2019, it sounded so brutally horrible and left such a bad taste in his fans' mouths that it was even hard to go back to his old music because it just reminded you of the brutality of his new music. With Lil Baby, his music was just so painfully mediocre, with no evolution at all in his flows, his subject matter, his sound, that when you now went back to his old music, you were faced with the reality that Lil Baby never had that much variety to begin with. So he really needed to come with something different, something new, something fresh with this new album, and almost use it as like a palate cleanser to mask the memory and the narrative of his mediocre previous album, his hugging at Michael Rubin's white party, all the criticisms that DJ Academics and his fans had for him, the canceling of his concerts, and the quick surpassing that Gunna did of Lil Baby's career. And boy, did he absolutely not do that. Before the album came out, Lil Baby did an interview with Lil Yachty where he emphasized that he had to change the name of his group from 4PF due to the feds looking into him as they did with Young Thug, and he had to stop rapping about things that he had seen in the past due to the unfortunate reality that rap lyrics were now being used against rappers in criminal courts.
Now I gotta watch what I say, I gotta watch what I do, because I'm watching how society trying to do rappers. And I understand why they trying to do it, because some rappers get up for everybody. And it's like, damn, now I'm in this pool. So it's like hard to just go in there.
Nah, we don't want to hear that though, man. I'm sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just the thought of it. Like, damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? You that shook. So even when you do try to drop some hard shit, bro, you not really told us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. This shit just sad, bro. Watching you fall like this, bro.
Rap how I used to rap. I watch Young Thug try every day. I seen him, you really use stuff against him that don't got nothing to do with nothing. That right there could scare you. They could really come and cut my whole career, my whole life for
You see that? You heard what he said? That type of shit can scare you. Yeah, he's scared. Bruh, scared man is a dead man, folks. It always been that. Always.
nothing. Something I really ain't did.
That's why he died. Because he's scared. He's scared, and he didn't let the world know. Finally, Willis done shook his ass.
You got comments on the internet saying you're gonna get a RICO. I don't even think people know how serious that is.
But this might have been a good thing. Lil Baby was emphasizing that he now had something new to say. The subject matter would be fresh. His mentor Young Thug was locked up for several years. It had been several years since Lil Baby had put out music of his own, so logically he probably had a lot to say on this new album, and it definitely seemed like it by this interview. But ironically, he had more to say of substance, of interest in these interviews than he actually did within the music. Not to my surprise, but this new album offered nothing in terms of intriguing subject matter. There was no self-reflection like he gave us on tracks like The Bigger Picture or Emotionally Scarred or Something to Prove in the past. But okay, we don't necessarily go to Baby all the time for that introspection. We go to him for the hard-hitting, energetic bars and flows over these hard-hitting trap beats, infectious hooks, etc. We go to him for the hits, the bangers. But ultimately, this was just a painful album to sit through. I mean, just look at Kai Cenat's reaction to this album. You know how bad it has to be to disappoint Kai Cenat, who recently said that his favorite rappers were Drake, A Boogie with the Hoodie, Playboi Carti, and Travis Scott. I mean, you don't necessarily have to come with Nas level bars to impress a listener like Kai Cenat, but you know how bad your music has to be to leave him like this?
What? They did what I did. They did what they did. I did what I did. I guess it's just what it is. Who put this? Who wrote this on the whiteboard to add to the album? This is probably the worst song I heard so far. What?
I mean, he couldn't even pretend to like it, and I definitely know why. Baby kicks off the album with the intro Listen Up, which starts off with these similar violin strings to Lil Wayne's song A Milli, which made me super excited. The production, I'll give him this, did sound a lot more unique and upbeat than his previous album did. And right away on the intro alone, you're getting this anthemic, triumphant energy from the beat. But Lil Baby opens up the first bars on this project with "New crib in another state to duck off. You get on my nerves, girl. F off." I mean, after 2.5 years, this is how you want to introduce your newest project to your fans. And it sounds so tone deaf given the beautiful violin chords in the background, the anticipating build-up of this beat. Like, it's really laying the foundation for Baby to spit something semi-inspirational, especially considering it's the intro to the frickin' album. But instead, we just get generic bars about him being the boss of his organization, letting his money pile up, living well, spending money on his crib, uplifting his crew, and he sounds half asleep while he's delivering all these mediocre bars. And that's the worst part of this whole project. Wow. Is after, years and years, Lil Baby has failed to switch up the flow, but instead just sounds lazier and lazier with each new release while he delivers that same flow from 2017. After Kendrick Lamar mentioned him in Not Like Us, saying that Drake goes to Lil Baby for his lingo, Lil Baby said that he didn't appreciate being mentioned in that song, and he's not a part of that side of rap. I want to ask Lil Baby, what is that side of rap to you? Because this side of rap, whatever you got going on with this new album, Wham, is not going to be where many people want to be for very long. I'm telling you, man, there's a change happening. People are tired of this generic garbage. We even saw it with Gunna. Like, Gunna didn't do that much to break the envelope, if that's an expression, but he at least gave us some new flows, some catchy hooks. Like, his new music sounds refreshing, or a little more varied than his other work. This project by Lil Baby is all of the same, just in a much lazier way. Again, I think the guy thought he was too big to fail, and he still thinks that. I will give him this, he did switch up the flow on the third track, F You 2 times, but I don't know what it is, he almost sounds tone deaf, to the point where he's delivering this fast-paced flow. He's attempting to give us some quotables on the hook, drawing back to Tupac with the claim to be a player but I effed your wife bar. But all this is delivered in this sluggish, half-asleep type vocal delivery where it's like, where do you think this song can be played? It's not, lyrical enough where real hip-hop fans are going to listen to it and dive into the bars and appreciate what you're saying. The melody is nowhere near infectious enough where you could play this in the club without the strippers falling asleep. And the flow either sounds like something we've heard 8 million times before, or it's just like so uncomfortably tone deaf where it's like it's unbumpable in the whip. So it's like, where are you gonna play a song like this? The only real redeemable
bro, when he say you can't play it in your car, it's a rap, bro.
Qualities to me on this project are a couple of the features. The song Dumb Dumb and Dumber with Young Thug and Future is definitely a standout. It's nice to see Young Thug come home sounding energized and hungry, and his chemistry with Baby and Future is pretty solid. Glorilla delivers arguably the best verse on the entire project, but the production on that record and Baby's hook and verse are just so forgettable that she almost should have saved that verse for a song of her own. 21 Savage comes in with some bars dissing Kendrick, saying he's with the Drake no kung fu. Travis comes in with a weird vocal delivery on the hook of the song Stuff. I mean, even the titles of these tracks are generic, and I find a lot of these rappers, Travis, Future, 21, when they do features for each other on each other's projects, because they're always featured on each other's albums. It's like the same 5 features constantly. Young Thug, 21, Travis, Future, and Drake. Look at any like Gunna, Nav, Future, or Young Thug project from the last few years and you'll see the feature list always looks the exact same. And more often than not, these features are usually just phoned in verses. Maybe Baby is taking inspiration from his artist Ralo Rodriguez's style of kind of like mumbling, crooning on a track, because he's doing that a lot here, but again, combine that with the similar flows we've heard before, the lack of engaging hooks or subject matter, and you just have an extremely bland project or a bunch of songs that are worse versions of something Lil Baby has done much better in the past. The song's So Sorry, the beat has the same exact tempo, and Lil Baby's using the same flow as his song with Gunna, Drip Too Hard, but it's like I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if the album was mastered poorly, if his vocals just don't sound loud enough over the beat, or if he's just not kind of emphasizing his words aggressively enough, but his vocal presence here just doesn't stand out in the slightest. It sounds like he's half asleep mumbling each one of these verses. The song I Promise is seemingly a love song, similar to an Emotionally Scarred, where he's pouring out his emotions singing over the hook, but missing half the quotables of an Emotionally Scarred and half the emotion of a song like Close Friends, but still using the same flows, similar production, similar subject matter. It just falls short to something he's done better in the past. By Myself with Rod Wave and Rallo is another attempt at a love song. Rod Wave kind of delivering this like country trap hybrid hook. Each of them doing that slurred out mumbled delivery over the most generic trap beat possible. Due for a Win sounds like a part 2 to his collaboration with Moneybagg Yo all of a sudden, or his collab with Future, Live Off My Closet. Like all these songs sound the same. This one just sounds like a much lower energy version of that. And by far the lowest moment of this album comes on the song Say Twin, where I think Lil Baby is attempting to give us a similar quotable to like he had in 2018 with that wham 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 the baby, giving us something as foolish but much less cashy with a hook that just repeats the phrase say twin, say twin, say twin, say twin. To all you YouTube conspiracy theorists out there, maybe that was an Illuminati reference, because when you say twin really fast it sounds like Satan. So maybe Lil Baby joined his friend Lil Uzi to become a devil worshipper, but no amount of Illuminati power can help that song propel to the top of the charts. And really, I mean, maybe because it's been 2.5 years since the last Lil Baby album, there's been a little bit of hype. There's hype between the Young Thug feature, the Travis Scott feature. You might see this album perform decently on the charts for the first week, maybe 2 if he's lucky. But I can guarantee you, I said this when his last album came out in 2022, nothing from this project is going to stick. When I said that last time, I didn't have this channel, I didn't have you guys, but I had my friends who all looked at me like I was crazy. Lil Baby was on the top of the world, and that last project, he was using a lot of the same flows, a lot of the same sounds as we saw on My Turn. So they all looked at me like I was crazy, like he's just doing the same thing he was doing back then all over again, so this is guaranteed to blow up. But I said, no, that's the problem, is that there's no evolution. And I'm not seeing it here either. I'm seeing a little bit of a step up in the production, some small efforts here and there, like on FU 2 Times or Dumb Dumb and Dumber with Young Thug and Future, to kind of step up his game lyrically, or minor incremental switches in the flow. But ultimately, there's no quotables or infectious hooks like he had on Yes Indeed. There's no hypnotizing melodies like he had on a Drip Too Hard or an Emotionally Scarred. There's no intense hunger like he had on a Something to Prove or a Freestyle or Every Chance That I Get. There's no strong collaborations like we saw with a We Paid or the song Baby with DaBaby. There's no high energy, ear candy type loops on any of the production here like there was on a song like Whoa or Real As It Gets or a Lowdown. There's no impactful, meaningful message like there was on The Bigger Picture. And it really
This nigga breaking your ass down, Lil Baby. Shit.
really sounds like he has this soul sucked out of him. Like, even on some of the more low-key joints off his album My Turn, Live Off My Closet, Forget That with Rallo, that was one of my personal favorites. Like, he's not really doing anything necessarily different there than what we've heard from him a million times before, but he just simply sounded like he put his heart into those records. At least a little bit of heart. With this album, it sounds like he forgot to do all of that, and I really think it's possible for any artist to make a comeback, but unfortunately, Lil Baby with this new album made that climb to the top much steeper, and someone who was quote-unquote going harder than ever has really made it harder than ever to enjoy his music.
Damn. That shit like on Friday. Damn. Like, damn, he talking about your ass bad as hell. Goddamn. Well. But, bro, your name ain't sparking like it used to, folk. And it's so unfortunate, bro. You know, I hate it for you, man. But you gotta find something different, man. You gotta find a new niche, because, gee, unfortunately, you told on yourself about being scared, the move that you made, changing the name, the pictures with the Oreo shit, academics calling your ass Lil Baby. All that shit just played a part, bro, in fucking who the person we love to be, Lil Baby, and known to be Lil Baby, man. So, hey, It might be a comeback in the future, folks, but right now, man, maybe he might drop something else and, head into the summer and get the summer lit. But right now, bro, we gotta, we gotta be honest, bro. It's like that album I listen to, it's like a 5 out of 10, bro. It's like a 5 out of 10, you know what I'm saying? And the feature saved him, for real. The feature saved him, because he ain't killed not nobody on none of his own songs. It's like everybody killed him or carried him, carried that song. So it was very unfortunate, bro. But that's what it is, man. But hey, man, it's your boy Shy Baby. I hope y'all like that video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, and like I always tell y'all, man, I love y'all like y'all love me. Until the next one, peace.